We are now officially into the month of February, the month of love, but then also some very exciting things coming down in the sports world. Welcome on in, folks, to another episode of the Protect You podcast. Jake Wilson, as always, alongside the man, Jay Mickens. Jay, very excited for not just things going on inside the Protect You world, as we always are, but also, you know, we got to acknowledge that there's some other things going on. We got Valentine's Day coming up in a couple of weekends. Us single individuals are looking forward to that one, as we don't have to spend nearly as much money as some of the couples will. But more important to the sports world, we have the Super Bowl coming up on Sunday as well.
No, I agree, bro. You're funny. Like, you always hear about, on Saturday Night Live, the reason why people break characters because somebody will do something that was not in rehearsals, right? You didn't bring that part up about the month of love. It's just funny hearing that. However, Valentine's Day. I think we'll have another show right before
yes, we will.
Valentine's, so we got time to talk about that. Maybe we can bring up some Valentine's Day massacres in the sports world or something. Make a note of that, Computer Jesus, so we can start preparing for next week's show while we're live on this show. But yeah, Super Bowl week, Jake. Exciting times, right? I mean, everybody loves the Super Bowl. I don't know if everybody's excited about Seahawks and Pats, but
I mean, it's
we'll see.
Storyline,
right?
You get the rematch from the infamous goal line interception game. So there's a little bit of that going into it.
Definitely. I think for me, only reason why I'm happy the Patriots, are back is because Mike Vrabel.
Yes.
Right? Titans run him out. Thought he was a crappy coach, and then he takes the Patriots, which he played for, right, and takes them back to the ship. But exciting times all the same. It's still the Super Bowl, right? Everybody gets to go party and have some fun and they celebrate all things. And speaking of celebrations, though, we got another one here, man. I mean, got my guy Chase King, right? We're able to commit the old robbery and stole him from UTEP. Big shout out to that guys there. I hope Coach Wald is not mad at me, and he'll still take our phone calls when we continue to feed him, top-notch players. But cannot wait, man. Chase, first week, started. So funny, this kid, tell him, hey, man, like, first day is not going to be February 2nd. He's like, nah, I'm starting now. I'm like, Chase, but dude, like February 2nd, that'll be a good time. We can onboard you. He's like, onboard me later. Give me contacts to players and parents. Let me start reaching out now. He's already helped kids find like homes, man, new homes. He helped us continue, right, our transfer portal kids, which we'll talk about that later on in the show, and also helped us with regards to our last 2026 guys. This dude hit the ground running, and I cannot wait to have him on the podcast next week, Jake, when we get to show him, introduce him to the world, kind of talk about his journey and how he got into coaching the world, and most importantly, what he's going to be bringing here to Protection United.
Yes, sir. February 10th. Be sure to mark the date, as we will have the exclusive interview and the wider introduction on the Protect You podcast of none other than Chase King.
Chase King.
Yeah.
You said green.
Chase King.
It sounded like you said green.
Put the crown on it.
Put the crown. Oh, we should have had him on last week.
That would have been perfect, man.
He was in El Paso still. He was still getting the Frosty Flakes out of his bag from what was it, the Kellogg's?
Dude, they're great.
Yeah. No, I'll never forget Herm Edwards. We'll talk about that with Chase. We're going to show that clip of when Herm Edwards won the first Sun Bowl and got pissed.
They put the Frosty Flakes on.
He's like, where the hell am I? I went from an NFL coach to this crap. We're going to talk to Chase about it. See if Chase was there. Is that at the Hall of Fame Sun Bowl?
Say it. Do they have that enshrined somewhere in El Paso? It's the infamous Herm Edwards moment.
No, Herm Edwards gave that same face that he gave when he was like, you play to win the game. That was the same face he gave when he took his hat and slammed them Frosted Flakes, heading to go shake the hand of the opposing coach that he just beat.
Quick little sidebar here. What do you think he would think now of stuff like the Pop-Tart Bowl, where your team gets to pick which of the mascots gets cooked, so then the whole team can feast?
We're going to ask Chase next week.
I think that's a good idea.
Let's see if he got to meet Herm. It might have been before Chase got there, but I want to know if the town of El Paso still talks about it.
Yes, they still remember what Herm Edwards did that one fateful night.
He was so mad. Dude, we're going to show the clip. Computer Jesus, put that on the notes. Look, we've already got like the first 30 minutes of the show done for next week.
Yes.
That's how good we work here.
We're very excited to have Chase
at
King
the Protect You crew.
Yeah.
Or the Protect You podcast.
Yeah, the Protect You podcast, expanding the Protect You crew.
Exactly.
There you go.
On the executive team side, we're expanding, we're growing.
Yes, new director of player development, Chase King, will be on next week, so be sure to mark it down as we're very excited to have him on. Just as excited, Jay, I think we are to announce that a couple of the Protect You crew members continue to stack up accolades.
A couple.
If you've seen us on social media, you know that the offers have been pouring in, but just as much, there have been a lot of accolades stacking up for Protect You crew members. We take an eye specifically here to the state of Texas, where connections here have been able to point out that the Houston Chronicle, the newspaper for the greater Houston area, has put together its list of the all greater Houston teams.
And also, too, Jay, to add, fourth largest city in the nation.
Yes.
I mean, like, I want people to understand before you start rolling through this of just how awesome this is for these young men to get this award. Please continue. I just had to throw that in.
No, absolutely.
I'm excited for this. It's not like small town in South Dakota where you're like, dude, everybody's going to make it. Like, if you play football, you're going to make the all greater South Dakota team. Fourth largest city in the nation, but then most importantly, from a football bed, I mean, where does this sit? Like number one, right?
It's got to be up there.
I mean, if we're talking about just true talent where college coaches come in and just say, I can come to this city and go get kids. How many cities are we talking about? Maybe like Los Angeles, maybe. Obviously, Houston's there. We know Dallas is there, but Houston's bigger than Dallas, right? I mean, Miami, but Houston's bigger than Miami. Mm-hmm. And then Georgia is more statewide.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and I think Florida to a degree.
Yeah, Florida to a degree because you can get some good stuff out in the Panhandle.
Right.
Yeah, so I think
number one?
Yeah, probably. The sheer density of the greater Houston area, I think, makes it the number one area for recruits and for high school talent, considering just how diverse and how spread out it is, how many schools, how many districts, and how much development I think truly goes on in this area. It really does speak volumes when you look at this list of guys and see just how many Protect You crew members were selected to this thing, where you start to realize that, hey, those guys got recruited for a reason.
Right.
And those guys continue to stack up offers for a reason, because this isn't just class of 2026. This is 2026 and then some. Yeah. So without further ado, we roll into the first team all offense for the greater Houston area. And it starts off with none other than Javion Martin, the Willis Wildcat product, already on campus at the University of Houston. We're very excited to see what he's going to be capable of at the next level, but he already stacked up accolades in just the 1 year that he had with the Willis Wildcats to earn first team.
No, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you know, Houston knows, you know, the steal that they got from Javion. And for the ones that know what I mean by that, they know. You know, this young man is a future NFL tight end. He has the skill set to do it all. And, you know, not shocked that it only took one season for Houston to say, oh, yeah, you definitely are a first team. So congrats to our guy, Scoop.
Yes, Scoop Martin. But moving on now to the defensive side of the ball, none other than Davis Kinney picked up a first-team All-Greater Houston nomination. And I think this has a lot to do with the sheer lockdown ability that he has out of that DB position. But then also they saw that he can get it done on the special teams. Electrifying return man, multiple kick returns, multiple punt returns. I think a very worthy selection for the first team.
Oh, no, Davis is definitely a guy. I mean, he's always been one of the top safeties in this area. And, you know, just the start of his senior season, you know, I believe first 4 games, he had 4 touchdowns. Saying a lot when you just play defense and they don't put you in on offense, right? So whether it was a pick 6 to win a game, kickoff return to win a game, punt return, you know, to go along with what he did, you know, by doing his normal day-to-day job, which is getting tackles, you know, breaking up pass deflections, and just being that rover, Ed Reed style, right? You know, over the top. And another, you know, young man that was warranted as being a first teamer.
And I think one of the bigger statements here is that versatility really does pay off. Showing your strengths in as many positions as possible leads to really great things. And it leads us now into what I've dubbed the Swiss Army man, none other than Marco Beltran. Also picked up that first team All-Greater Houston nomination out of College Park High School. A historic season, so it's very easy to see why he earned this nomination. But if you saw him out there on the field, he more than earned it.
Yeah, and, you know, Marco is one of, in my opinion, one of the poster childs here of Protection United in regards to everything that, you know, goes within this young man. Don't get me wrong, guys. You know, keeping the main thing, with Marco, right? If his talent doesn't warrant it, right, none of this is happening, right? We are not here to try to take away from the athletes that we represent. However, Marco was just a guy that was looked upon as you shouldn't be playing in the secondary. You don't have the look that looks like a normal secondary guy, and I'll just kind of leave it there. And Marco has defeated all odds because he's like, I'm a football player. I love the fact that through what we've done with him at Protection United, and then in turn, Houston Chronicle recognizing, because the promotion piece is so important to have a young man like Marco say, like, hey, I might not meet the eye test, but at the end of the day, I'm just as good or not better than these other guys that y'all have been raving over the past 2 or 3 years. We here know how Marco's been because he's been a 3-year starter and he's done amazing things every freaking year. So I am so happy for Marco that he received first team all Greater Houston, which if you're first team all in Houston, like we just talked about, it means you're one of the top in the nation. Numbers going to leave it at that.
Saying, speaking of top in the nation, we've talked about versatility and using your strengths in multiple positions. I think that perfectly describes our next guy, Dylan Mitchell, who also picked up a first-team All-Greater Houston nomination for the special teams positions. And I think it's very easy to understand why. When you saw those kick returns, those punt returns, and the way that they were able to use him in CE King's historic run to the state championship game, I think you can look at this and say, yeah, I get it with Dylan.
Yeah, I mean, and Dylan's a 28. Like, keep that in mind, too. This kid's got 2 more years of high school football left. Led his school to, first ever, trip to, the state championship game. And, having Dylan, he's just special. When the ball is in his hand, this young man can do it all. Cannot wait to show the reason why, he's on this list. But let's just say that Dylan could be one of the first few to ever be a 3-time first team, Greater Houston area I would say nominee or participant, whatever that word is, Jake. But yeah, Dylan's the guy. I mean, Superman, AKA me and his dad love to call him autopilot because you literally can just put this kid on autopilot and he's never going to let you down and he's going to always, rise to the top.
Yes, definitely looks like the first of many first-team All-Greater Houston selections for Dylan Mitchell. Now we transition over to the second team, guys that positions were absolutely loaded for some of these spots. You're talking about having to compete with guys in Katy, North Shore, CE King had a great run. Summer Creek had some really good athletes going out there. So keep your head up high if you hear these second team nomination guys. And you mentioned UTEP at the beginning of the show, and we're going to mention them again here. None other than EJ Lartigue picked up a second team All-Greater Houston selection. He'll be taking his talents over to El Paso, and I think they're very excited to see that their investment in EJ is already starting to pay off with the work he's putting in high school.
Yes, and, kind of circle back to Coach Walden. See, Coach, EJ stayed committed, and we didn't pull him like we took Chase. Throw that out first. However, no. EJ would have been a first-teamer if he would have moved to center, his junior season. From just a talent perspective alone, I mean, he should have been a first-team guy. However, right, just one season at center, some people might be questioning, is he a one-hit wonder? Can he continue to do that over the course of, a career? My answer to that is hell yes, he can. But, still great honor, making any team, once again, on this list is a huge honor. So happy for EJ, honored that we're getting to represent this young man and be a part of his journey. But, another guy that showed what he can do. And I think, what really earned this and solidified this was when they went against Duncanville and he was able to hold his own against, let's just call it, a D-line that's all going to the SEC.
Yes.
So you hold it down against that, right? You get to show the world that you are one of those guys, and couldn't be more happier and proud of EJ.
Yes, no doubt in that. I think he's one of the best offensive line products that we've seen come out of this North Houston, North Montgomery County area. So we're very excited and we're very happy for you, EJ. Just as equally as we are happy and excited to announce that Josiah Vilmel also picked up a second team All-Greater Houston selection, the newly dubbed 4-star talent, very well deserving of it, was part of that lockdown Fort Bend Travis defense. Him, Davis, Joshua were such a great group all together, and I think he more than earns the second team selection.
I'm going to call bullcrap on that. So, this dude's a 4-star DB. How the hell is he not on the first team? Like, That's okay. That's okay. The good thing about Joshua and Josiah Villamil, along with my man Joe and their amazing mother, Demarius, love the family, by the way, including myself. We are petty as hell. We hold chips on our shoulder, and we're going to use this as fuel because we're going to show the greater Houstonite. He was a first teamer, and it's nothing against the other guys that made the first team. Just create another spot. Create another spot, Jake. How many times have we seen the Heisman where there's 3 finalists, there's 5 finalists because they're warranted, right? Like, extend that damn list. This is dumb. This kid was a first teamer. However, I'm happy for Josiah. Happy that he made the list. Crazy town because let's just say that there were about 15 colleges that were all fighting for him. I didn't know they looked at the second team, Greater All Houston.
Hey,
it's all good.
I think Kansas State is still happy that they're getting a dog coming their direction. And now, like you said, Jay, he's got a chip on his shoulder. Dude, he's got something to prove out there in those purple and whites.
I just hope that he earns that starting spot as a true freshman so that we can come back to this and be like, hey, how's this for your second team? So you make first team, all freshman Big 12, but second team, Greater Houston. But then again, though, like I said, this is the number one city in the nation. Maybe Chase will come on next week and kind of correct me and calm me down a little bit. He might be able to bring a different perspective because when I get all hype like this, Jake, you go PR on me, you just clean up my words and be my apologist. Maybe Chase can kind of be like, Jay, look at it from this point of view. And then maybe I'll look at it differently.
Maybe. But we round out this list here and carry it over to the private school sector where Colson Collins, coming off of his QB selection of the year for SPC 3A, 4A, also picked up an all private school team selection in this Houston Chronicle article. I love that they show a little love to the private school guys, show love to those talents that might be flying somewhat under the radar. Those private school guys, I think there's a little bit of a stigma on them. They don't play the greatest of competition. Sometimes you might say they're ducking out on them, but I think guys like Colson Collins get out there and prove, I can still put up some video game numbers regardless of who you put me up against, and those offers will continue to pour in for a guy like him.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is that, Colson, going to a private school, it wasn't because he couldn't play 6A football, when he was at Magnolia. It's just they don't throw the ball, right? Cash Farrell loves Magnolia because he's our running back here, part of Protect You crew. Cash loves that they run that thing, right? But he wanted to make the right move for himself and going to an offense, right, that, it's spread, that they go fast. And I'm happy for Colson because he's another example, right, of a young man that is like, I would have got lost in the sauce and would have been just a running quarterback in high school versus going to a school where I can show both of my skill sets of showing that 4.5 40, right, that I can run, but I can also sling it around the yard and be very accurate, with that as well, too. So, this was definitely deserved and, so happy for Colson, man, because this young man is a very hard worker, great leader, right? And he's always giving credit to his teammates. And I'm glad that he now has an opportunity to sit back and allow himself to get some of the credit.
Absolutely. And now, Jay, we'll take a little bit of a road trip up Interstate 45 here.
Okay.
And head up to that DFW Metroplex where we talk about how deep talent can get in one place and compare it to how deep it can get in another. I think the All Saints program out there is really putting in a strong case for how good not just the depth is in DFW, but how deep some of those private schools can get up in that area. And we start off with a guy that you've heard him once, you've heard him 1,000 times. If I had a nickel for every time we talked about this guy on the Protect You podcast, Jay, I could retire and just do this out of the love of the game. I am, of course, talking about none other than Kingston Byer, the young man who picked up a first-team D-line selection for the Fort Worth Star-Telegrams all-area super team. Talk about that for an accolade. Yeah. And then, of course, he also picked up a TAPS D2 Defensive Player of the Year selection. I mean, what more can you really say about a guy like Kingston Byer?
Yeah, man.
Just continues to stack accolades like they're plates, and he's just putting them in the cabinet.
Yeah, no, Kingston's a stud. I remember we first met with them, and, I just saw the worry in his dad's eyes, and I'm like, are you watching the same film I'm watching? Like, your kid's going to get offers. And sure as hell, here we are. And, Everybody is starting to recognize what this young man is doing. And I love that Kingston is really starting to become the poster child of changing the mindset of you could go to private school and still dominate and still get recruited, right? A lot of these guys, some of the guys come to private school after they already got their offers, right? Whereas Kingston's saying like, look, I can do this. And I'll never forget being next to my dad, when dad is like telling Kingston, hey, dog, you might need to go back to Aledo. We might need to go back to public school, like, because I don't know if you're going to get recruited. And Kingston's like, Dad, I care about my education too. Like, I want to get a good education. I want to be able to say that I'm not throwing all my eggs in one basket like guys that we know in the oil and gas industry. He's like, I want to have two roadmaps to where if football don't work out, I still got something to fall back, and that education is going to take me somewhere with that. I'm telling you right now, Jake, and wait, is this? Oh, no, we'll wait. I'll say this when we go with Gabe, because we'll come back. I got something to say about this school. Absolutely. However, Kingston's so happy for him. I mean, he is now on everybody's radar, right? I mean, the moment that those couple offers started rolling in, now we're rocking and rolling with him, and I'm excited, so excited and happy for this young man. And congrats to him.
Yes, this All Saints team is absolutely loaded with talent. They stacked up so many accolades. I think basically every player on that offense and even on that defense has gotten some sort of recognition for their excellent talents. And that extends over to none other than Gabriel Vasquez-Starling, the young man who had some unreal catches, showed off his incredible size and his, I think, just surefire grip strength when it came into just securing those catches. But more importantly, he racked up a TAPS first-team All-State selection by the Padilla Coaches Poll. So even the coaches are looking at what's happening there at All Saints and saying, yeah, this squad is deep and they deserve to be recognized for it. And I think Gabriel was just the tip of the iceberg for what might be coming down the chute.
Yeah, bro. And I mean, this guy is going to just dominate, man. I mean, he is a dude that I'm still shocked that he doesn't have offers yet. I mean, he's got the frame, 6'5", the ball hawk skills. I mean, can catch anything that comes his way. I mean, but, I'm glad that TAPS recognized him being that first team All-State. And, and getting it by, the Padilla Coaches Poll. I mean, once again, somebody that is, well respected in this area, right? When it comes to how he does his things. And hey, Gabe's got another year too, by the way, along with Kingston. They both are 27. So I think safe to say that these guys are going to be back-to-back first teamers.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you on that. And Kingston Buyer too, he mentions in a lot of his stuff, he's undefeated as a starter. This team has not lost in the past 2 years, and that includes a state championship. So I think this is a squad that doesn't even need to retool. You just plug and play again for next year, and we could be talking back-to-back state titles for All Saints, back-to-back state titles for Kingston Buyer and for Gabriel Vasquez-Starling. So I'm very excited for what the future is going to hold for them and very excited for what the future of the Protect You crew is going to look like. Will these guys continue to stack up accolades? I absolutely think so. And will these guys, I think, like you said, maybe go into college, maybe go into that next level with a chip on their shoulder?
Yeah. And, just wanted to finish off this section before we transition into our next thing is that, you stay widescreen on this one, Computer Jesus, because I want to get Jake's reaction off this. But, like, we're looking at a situation where when I found out that you got All Saints are going to be playing John Cooper, like two of the most premier private schools, right? Not only in the state of Texas, but like some are now saying in the nation because of the academic side. Oh, yeah. And we have to put that out there. I mean, IMG is known for football, not really known for academics, right? So you're looking at two schools that we represent a good number of these athletes. You're going to be looking at essentially, I mean, when you go and look at like a Jake Sneed, right? You're looking at a Colin Weeks, right? You're looking at a Parker Newman, a Peyton Newman, a Lucas Triplett, a Colson Collins, all on John Cooper, and then a Kingston Buyer, right? And you got our guy Gabe, right? That's holding it down, right? With All Saints. They're playing each other this season.
Yep.
I cannot wait for that game. We're putting that's the game we will be at. Please, football gods, don't put that week 3 when College Park plays CE King. Please don't do that. Oh man, because I don't know how we're gonna be at 2 places at once. Then it's like first half we're here, second half we're gonna have to get a helicopter and just fly us. Like we'll figure that out. However, that is going to be one of the top games, right, that I cannot wait to watch. It's going to be at John Cooper. So we got our sideline access passes for that game. And I tell you what, man, that is going to be fun night.
One hell of a game.
Yes, it will be.
Looking forward to.
Yeah.
One that I think you and I will have marked on our calendar the second those schedules go live.
Hey, it won't be just me and
Mark
you.
it down.
Hey, Logan, Chase, Addie.
All hands on deck.
Madison, right? I mean, our camera guys, right? Part One Productions, Jacoby. We might have all the camera guys. Cinco, everybody just come on. Like, let's just get this thing going because there's going to be a lot of D1 athletes out there competing. I mean, think about it like this. And this will be interesting, depending on what Coach DeHaven does with the Newman twins, right? But you're going to have one at center, I believe, and one at guard.
Okay.
Going against Kingston. That's nasty, bro. Mm-hmm. Nasty, right? Then on the other side, right, Luke is doing what he's going to do against All Saints, right? Then, of course, right, looking at it from, the different parts with Colson's, what he's going to do against that secondary. Obviously, what Gabe is going to do against the new revamped secondary for John Cooper. But, I mean, we're going to get to see guys on guys.
Yeah.
Protect you crew or protect you crew.
That's going to be a very unique.
You know what I mean?
So we got sort of a taste of that when we were looking at guys like the Willis and College Park matchup last year. We got a little bit of a taste of that, but
not really.
But not to the extent of this, what I'm saying.
I mean, but when did we have that? Like, who went against who? Like, think about that. Like, we didn't have anybody go mono, right? Am I thinking right?
No,
because all of our guys with Willis are all defensive guys. And same with College Park.
Javion
Correct.
played tight end.
He was a two-way.
But you had over-the-top coverage with Marco. That wasn't a one-on-one.
That was a one-on-one. I'm talking Newman, whichever one, Parker or Payton, Kingston Byer.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, hey, tonight they're going to be looking at each other on the Zoom. Make sure remind me to bring that up on the Zoom.
No, it'll be exciting. It'll be something that I think you and I are already. If it's not,
we're fired up.
We're already looking forward.
And we're in the month of love, like you said, and I'm ready for freaking September.
I'm ready for September to roll around.
Let's get it. Let's go.
But we're excited for September, Jay. And I think a lot of guys that are going to be excited for September to roll around too are the other members of the Protect You crew that have already been stacking up those offers. We talked about it last week, and it seemed like we went on ad nauseum about how many offers our guys were getting. Jay, I think that was maybe an appetizer for the main course that could still be yet to come based on the things that we're seeing on social media, the texts we're getting from parents, the engagement we're getting in those group chats. There's still more coming down the road. But we got to do our due diligence here and show off and highlight the guys that have gotten offers and in some cases have committed to play ball at the next level. Not something that everybody gets to say, but something we definitely love to celebrate here at Protection United. And Jay, we got to start off with none other than Rocco DeVita.
Hey, our 2026 guy, man. Look, you want to talk about, whoa, computer Jesus, you're going too quick. Go back to that verses for 1 second, big dog. Hey, love this commitment. Oh, he got it on the roll and thing. That's cool. We'll let it roll. I'm good. Just let it roll. We got this thing set up to where we got our guy Murray State committed. Big time offer for Rocco, man. One of our few I would say hangover 2026 guys that we got him set up. I'm so freaking happy for him. I mean, what can we say, bro? About just the effort and hard work that he has put in and all the things that he's done, man, for not only himself, right, what we've been able to do, and love seeing that picture, obviously, of just the happiness and the joy of his mom that was with him, right? When she was there for him to commit and have his photo shoot.
Yes, we're very excited for him. A guy that it was good just to talk to him, to see him face to face when we did that big 2026 early signing class. And so I think the investment has been more than paid off here for Rocco. An opportunity to go out and show his stuff, because kicking is not an easy thing to get a whole lot of offers for. And especially too, when you talk about Tom Ball had him splitting reps for the past, for all of his years in varsity.
Right.
So to still see that he was able to make something of it and make it to the collegiate level, I think speaks volumes, not only obviously to the work here at Protection United, but to his grit, to his determination to get something at that next level.
Yeah, no. And, I mean, like us, them bringing us to be a part of it. I've known Rocco since he was 8 years old and watching him kick footballs at 8. And it was amazing because you're like, wow, this dude's in Little League football kicking field goals. This is nuts. And, seeing them do it on the select level with their Pines, and then, now, them wanting to be a part of Protection United, Jake, it's just been an honor, to represent. And, he's one of the happiest guys. I called when they told us on Sunday. I literally called and was screaming in the phone, celebrating with Rocco, celebrating with his mom, and just thanking them, right? Because when somebody signs up with us, we feel a sense of obligation to help them get somewhere. They're counting on us, and I'm just honored, man, and so happy for this young man. We don't show favoritism here at all, as you know, Jake, but there are certain ones that, to your point, to where, because we can't control the depth charts in their high school. We can't control the two, backup kicker or we're splitting kicking rails. We didn't expect that coming in. Or we might have even paused on wanting to rep them because we don't want to have people being not, happy with us. Right. And so just to see this, and then for them to get their ROI and to see their return of investment into us, and then to see it now being poured out to where we did just enough, right, of showing and promoting him, and then getting the eye of Murray State to say, hey, wait, you seeing this kid, right? Coming on our feed, and here we are, Jake.
Yes, absolutely. And not to be outdone either, or not to be outshone by Rocco's commitment, is another guy out of the 2026 class, and none other than Jerome Bell, who made his commitment to Midwestern State. Very excited to see him. Love the Mustang imagery on that one. But hey, Jerome will be keeping it here in the state of Texas, so a good opportunity for us to get some additional eyes on him. And I think Midwestern State might be one of the best spots for him to get out there and then really show off his talents for what could be potentially the next stop at the collegiate level.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for Bell, man. He'll be either a linebacker or box safety, and he's going to definitely do his thing, and I can't wait. Can't wait, man. So happy for him. It's funny him holding that, like a little sniper gun, but that's Bell.
Yeah. We're very excited for him. We're very excited to see what that connection might be like at Midwestern State. What do they decide to do with him on the defensive end, like you said? Because it opens up the door for potentially more opportunities down the road.
Those are our 26.
Those are just the 26.
Those are the two 26. That means we got one more left. And I think Chase is already getting that one locked in to where then we just got to bounce over. I think Chase kind of corrected us. Remember, we gave each other a high five and we had to take it back.
We did.
We had a couple of Louisiana guys that they got the offers. They're just kind of waiting to see where they're going to go. But we're down to what, Jake? Two?
I think so.
2 guys left in the 26 class that they just got to commit somewhere. But they got opportunities.
Yes. There's a great opportunity out there for them, as much as there are great opportunities for the rest of the Protect You crew. Because, Jay, we've got an onslaught of offers that we need to get through here, because we're talking some big-time offers for some big-time schools for some very big-time players. And, Jay, we started off with, I don't know if it gets bigger, none other than Joshua Vilmel, one of the premier defensive backs that are going to be coming out in this upcoming class. And he picked up 4 sensational offers, starting off with Arkansas, and it carries over to SEC country, where it just means more.
Yeah, it just means more, huh? I like it when your Longhorns got in the SEC, then you bought into that.
Well, you got to now. You got to. It's that hive mind mentality. We're all against each other except for when the SEC is put on blast. Then we all got to rep it as much as possible. But Joshua picks up the offer for Arkansas, as well as North Texas, throwing their hat in the ring in the Mean Green defense as it looks to restructure under some new coaching. But then also Tulane decided to throw itself in the mix there, see if they can try and sway Joshua their direction. And then last but certainly not least, Jay, none other than Louisiana Tech.
Hey, look at that,
our great people in Rusty.
Yeah, I don't know if Jalen had anything to do with that offer. But yeah, I mean, look, like you said, Jake, I mean, this guy's going to be one of the top DBs in the nation. He's already is, in my opinion, but just from a, household name, let's just say, he is that guy. I mean, the eye test, put it in bold, big ass check box. 6'3" frame, shut down. I mean, we watched him at a 707 tryout for the RG3 takeover, and that turned into just a practice for him because they were like, you're on the team. This dude, he had it to where the quarterbacks didn't even want to throw the ball. In one-on-ones. Like, just throw it, kid. Let's just see. I ain't throwing no pick. Like, I'm not. Nope. The receiver didn't get open. I'm not releasing the football. That is what he is. He is a true shutdown corner. Like, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. This young man is going to make the next school very happy, but he's got another year of high school football left.
Yep, that he does, Jay.
He got another year, Jake.
And another guy too that I think has another year left of school, and another guy,
so too.
And another guy that is going to be looking to pay off that investment just a little bit further is none other than Brandon mother-loving Abear. This guy got after it on the field.
Yeah.
You talked about how EJ took care of business, deservedly so, against Duncanville.
Yeah.
Brandon Abear shut them down on the defensive front.
Dog. Shut them down.
In a gritty defensive battle, nobody could get in the backfield against North Shore because of a guy like Brandon Abear.
Nobody.
And now the schools are finally starting to realize that, man, maybe that guy they were onto something.
We've been on this guy for the whole season.
Maybe they were onto something.
Right tackle, then they moved him to left tackle. To me, that would warrant offers.
Mm-hmm.
However, they didn't get it at the initial front, but let's just roll through these offers that he has now. Because Brandon's starting to run out of fingers.
Yes.
He went from no offers to now he's like,
I got to start counting on toes.
Oh, man, almost.
Because
he got like 4 fingers left.
Because he picked up a bunch of offers last week, and now he picks up 7 more offers in between last Tuesday and now.
Yeah, wait, he's right. He picked up what, 3 last week?
He picked up, I believe it was 3 or 4 last week.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dog.
So he's out of
on the toes. He's out of fingers. Unless it's like AI where they give you like 8 fingers.
They keep adding fingers.
How you got all them fingers, dog?
But we focus now on who exactly it was that was shooting the big man those offers. And it starts off with the Houston area in Rice, the school that focuses a lot on academics. I think that speaks a lot of high volumes too to what Brandon has been putting in the classroom. But Rice decides to extend its offer.
And Rice is going to be putting a little pressure on. I think Chase has got somebody in his ear kind of wanting him to pick Rice. But, hey, like that Rice just said, let me throw this out there.
Absolutely. And then we carry over once more into SEC country as Mississippi State also shot an offer in Brandon's direction. Moving on now up to the Pacific Northwest, where Oregon State and the Beavers also decided that they wanted a piece of Brandon Abear. Now we're back into the Lone Star State, as Texas State said, you know what, we can't let Oregon State get him. That's our conference rival now. We got to get him. And now we're back over to the Pacific Coast. San Diego State says, no, we want Brandon Abear now. We got to get him. And then UTSA comes in and says, no. He cannot leave the state of Texas. Bring him over to the Alamo. UTSA needs him. And then none other than the Ivy League steps up and says, good sir, would you please come play football for us at Princeton?
Yeah. That almost made me spit my coffee. I thought that was awesome. Way to take us around the nation, Jake. Look at Princeton.
Hey. When Ivy League comes knocking, you got to listen.
You got to listen. Hey, does it mean more there too?
It means more in the book. It means more in the library.
There it is.
For dang sure.
Yeah, but no, man, had a great conversation with Brandon's father, Mr. Abear, and I mean, he's just so happy. Him and I shared some tears of joy on that phone call because him and I still remember when he was like, Jay, what more can my son do? He's dominated all season, won a state championship. We still have 0 offers, right? And that was late December. And then to see where Brandon is now, man, I cannot be more happy, for them. And I love being able to celebrate and have these moments with them. And, this young man, this is only the beginning, like I keep telling them, and that this is going to end up being where they're going to have a tough time figuring out where home is going to be, because I expect him to be a kid that has 25 to 30 offers when it's all said and done.
Yes, I don't doubt that for a second. That's going to be a guy that when we're looking at that signing day coming around, he's going to have, I think he needs to have at least 3 tables worth of hats for him to choose from when that selection comes through. Because there's going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of schools that are going to be like, come on, Brandon.
Yeah, he's not going to narrow it down to the top 5, say, my top 30. And everybody's going to know.
Keep him guessing.
I like it. Maybe we can get him on the show to make his announcement.
Say, never let him know your next move. And I think that's a great idea there for Brandon. But we move over once more to the defensive side of the ball as none other than Jalen Kilo picked up another offer. He's been racking them up very consistently for that Willis Wildcat product, as Texas State also came in and said, you know what? Willis has produced some excellent talent. We got to bring a little bit of that here to San Marcos.
Yeah, man, just another shutdown corner. I mean, look, corners are hot in the streets right now. Look, these coaches are like, find me a dude that can cover, and you found yourself a guy that has an offer. And, Jalen is another kid, another year, right? And the fact that he was a former basketball player, it was like, how'd you ever go play football? The footwork, right? Understanding spacing, all those things that he has picked up on that basketball court. Mom played, basketball, right, as well. So, I mean, he got her genes and her skill set. Dad, AJ, was another, former athlete. Those genes come together. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, didn't we, Jake? When you put two genes together of, good talent from parents,
you get something special.
You get something special.
And that is manifested in the form of Jalen Kilo. And you talk about lockdown defensive threats. And I think we got to talk about none other than Bryson Dossett, who picked up 2 sensational offers, big-time offers. And it starts out with Bill Belichick in North Carolina coming in. Talk about that for a big-time offer. His 9th D1 offer on the record. He also picked up a recent re-offer from Kansas State, so could be a connection there for the Protection United crew. And then rounding it out for another D1 offer, UConn. I know we talk about UConn men's and women's basketball, but that football program is starting to build up a little bit of momentum too. And they think maybe Bryson Dossett could be a very valuable part of that defense.
Yeah, exactly. Happy for Bryson. I mean, this kid's a stud, 2027, one of the top safeties in the nation. And it makes sense, right? And I love the fact that Bryson is also out there defeating against all odds and showing, hey, let's get back to just recruiting football players. Just don't worry about the look or this or that. Like, let's just go recruit football players if you want to win and keep your jobs. And these college coaches, they want to win and they want to keep their jobs.
Absolutely.
And Bryson's a dude.
And Bryson's a dude.
Yeah.
Bryson's a dude. And you talk about that eye test too. Who measures up? Who doesn't measure up? And I think one guy that definitely measures up is Jake Sneed. 6'6" tight end out of John Cooper. He's picked up some very sensational offers. We talked about Memphis earlier on in the season after that viral TikTok that he hit. But Yale comes forward and says, you know what? Maybe Ivy League might become a cornerstone here at Protection United. That'd be something to discuss there in the near future. But Jake Sneed picks up a sensational offer there from Yale to come and play for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, no, happy for Jake, man. And, once again, just another young man, hard worker, does everything the right way. And let's just say that when opportunities come knocking, he's been ready. We helped Jake, work with, speed trainers because that was the biggest knock against him a year ago. And now he's shown the speed, right, by working with our trainers. Obviously, great trainers over, at John Cooper, with Cisco leading the way, Iron Wheel. And in turn, he's shown that he's gotten stronger and faster to go along, with the great route running in the hands that he can catch a football at any point. So happy for Jake, and I think he's going to be another young man that's going to pick up a dozen or so more offers before it's all said and done.
Absolutely. And now we transition back over to that lockdown defensive type threat with Jamal Lagway. King Lag has been picking up a lot of momentum in the recruiting cycles, and it starts out with North Texas. Again, trying to build up that defensive unit under some new coaching and some new leadership. Could be looking to try and get Jamal out there to be one of those first real leaders for that Mean Green restructure. But then, of course, we got to talk about Baylor also extending their offer. And look at that, showing a little bit of love to Pops out there for his time when he was out there repping that gold and green out there. So really great to see that Jamal continues to pick up that really solid momentum that he's been building up in this recruiting cycle.
Yeah, King Lag, another, amazing athlete. And he's, once again, showing what he can do, Jake. And, Jamal, being a 20, almost 27 or 28, just like time is just flying or slowing down for Jamal. Because, I've been saying this young man's name since he was in Little League. But, Jamal, being able on varsity first year, coming up from freshman ball, because he was a freshman the year before. So, he was a sophomore. So he would be 28. And so you're looking at another young man that's kind of like Dylan Mitchell's got 2 more years left of high school football, but yet it's already picked up so many big P4 offers. And, definitely happy for Jamal.
Yes, and one guy that already has a ton of offers on his table, but another school just decided, you know what, better late than never. Let's get this offer out there. Is, of course, Jay Storm Knight, the big man, now taking his talents over to Cornerstone. We'll be very excited to see him. But North Texas also said, you know what? Why not? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, hey, North Texas said we're just going to shoot our shot and see what happens. We know that we might be the small man currently on the totem pole, but let's just see what happens. Maybe he wants to stay close.
Hey,
there's another school that's close to offer too.
Maybe. Hey, we never know.
In the conference that means more, as you like to say.
We never know. And speaking of, too, teammates, Dylan Mitchell. We talked about him earlier in this and how he was doing an excellent job earning that All-Greater Houston nomination, but now he picks up 3 exceptional offers for D1 programs. And it starts out with the Longhorns, trying to keep him inside the state of Texas. I know they got that A&M connection, so maybe seeing that burnt orange wasn't the greatest of feelings, but it's got to feel good to see that another great D1 program is extending their graces your direction, as well as North Carolina also decided to throw their hat in the ring when it comes to Dylan Mitchell. And then we ended off with one last one here for Oregon, bringing that Nike money, bringing that great prestige. When you see that yellow O, you know it's getting serious because there's a lot of resources that come out there with Oregon. And yeah, we're very excited to see that one come through for Dylan.
Yeah, it's just funny. Like, his dad's sure they keep tagging Tex Ags to all these offers. Like, why do they? I mean, Ryan Barger is like, why y'all tagging me? I don't want to see this. You're just making me jealous.
Just to stir the pot, man. Just to stir
a little bit, but it's just that. But I get it. You know, this was A&M times. But yeah, very happy for Dylan.
Yes.
I mean, geez, Louise. I mean, what more can this kid do?
For a 2028.
I know.
For a guy that when you look at him, you could see that and be like, undersized.
Yeah.
But when you look at that sheer speed, you look at that ability to break away, that finesse that he has when he's carrying the ball, it's easy to understand why he continues to pick up this many offers. And Jay, I think it extends over, and maybe some of these schools are also interested in seeing what he might be able to do out there on the track.
Coaches are always asking about, let me see your track speed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, coaches, get ready to see Dylan's track speed.
Yes, because Dylan had a tremendous opportunity over the weekend to go out and run in the 118th Millrose Games under the Team Nike banner. And Computer Jesus, you are good to roll the footage because Dylan absolutely paid off everything that he's been working for.
He gone. Ooh.
Some of the fastest runners in the nation. And Dylan Mitchell gets out there and he succeeds against all. Runs the best time in the 60-meter race, the best and the fastest in the nation.
Oh, man. Like, I mean, this guy, like, he's on a whole nother level, man. I mean, he is dominating. Imagine dominating 2 sports. Like, I mean, that's like Bo Jackson-esque or Deion Sanders-esque, right? Where, I mean, you're not only just playing both, but like you're actually, you know, king of the hill in both. So, you know, definitely happy, you know, to show like, you know, what Dylan is doing and all the things. And, you know, as we, you know, get ready to kind of show like just this monumental picture of Dylan on here, just to show the happiness. It's going to be just great, man. I'm happy for this young man.
Yes. And dominating too, like we said, Jay, Texas, where the best athletes are from.
Yeah.
They get out there and they prove it day in and day out, and Dylan leads the way.
Yeah.
As a class of 2028.
And for the ones watching across the nation, Cypress is the extension of Houston. So
yes.
I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, that's Houston. So the top 2 guys in the nation are from Houston.
Yes. The talent runs absolutely deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just means more.
It just means more here.
I'm just going to carry that over.
It means more here. But yes, we're very excited to get out there and to see what Dylan will continue to rack up here, as running a little bit on a time constraint here. So we'll shift some things around here, move around couple of pieces, Jay. Let's take a look here at what we got left. I think one thing we absolutely got to hit on, and we're going to hit on right now, are the newest additions to the Protect You crew. We always talk about trying to bring on new talent, get fresh faces out here as members of the Protect You crew. And I'm very excited to announce the 2 newest members. We start out with, of course, the Fort Bend Travis connection, baby. We've been growing it strong out there in that area. The Kinney family has helped us out tremendously. The Vomel family, the Brewer family has done an excellent job. And now we open up the umbrella to the Williams family as Ethan Williams makes his mark here as one of the newest members of the Protect You crew. Fort Bend Travis, 2027 wide receiver, 6'2", 190. And not only that, Jay, but the return on investment was immediate, picking up offers from Tulane and North Texas within a couple of days of signing with Protection United.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you talk about the return of investment. I mean, like this young man, like literally jumped in and we just were so happy, for him. Right. And I know that we're going to be able to show more, on Ethan as he has another year of football left. But you just see the ball hawk ability. I remember when we went out, Jake, to watch him play, we literally turned it around and said, you know what? Let's make sure that we go get this kid's contact information, right? When we were out there to go watch the Veal Mills as well as Davis Kinney. And we're like, who's number 12? Like, who is this monster? And, so honored that we're getting to represent him and that we're getting to help him, on his journey, right? The wide receiver position is definitely an important spot. And as you can see, right, he can play slot. He can also play outside. Look at this sheer just breakaway. Dude, he should have probably put that as the.
My God.
Wait, first of all, why is that not the first?
Because we had to leave the best for last there, Jay. That's your impression.
The mic drop. So you bring it back to us, computer Jesus. That's it. Jeez. Man.
Look, nearly every guy on the defense had a chance to take him down, but they couldn't.
Yeah, okay, but for coaching perspective, we're going to make sure that Logan, our talent scout here, gets him to flip-flop that film because that should be the number one clip. Like, he don't even need no other clips but that. Dog, come here, bro, like 8 tackles.
That was one that I was going through, and I was like, shoot.
Yeah.
That one has to be a part
of
it.
That one. Anyway, man, so honored. Cannot wait to continue to show Ethan, and I can't wait for us to continue to grow with him and allow, to be a part of the process of his recruitment.
Yes, and we talked about the two-parter here, 2 guys coming on to the Protect You crew, and now we move over back to that Ridge Point type area. We talked about Bryson Dossett, and we love the Dossett family, but now we extend our graces over to Logan Davis, another excellent lockdown corner out of the 2027 class. 6'1", 175, already has the Texas State offer. So now all we got to do is just keep the trainer rolling and build up some really positive momentum in this recruiting cycle, because with a whole nother year left of development and a whole nother year left of footage, I think he's going to be a guy that a lot of schools will want.
Yeah, exactly. He's already holding an offer at Texas State. And, look, at the end of the day, guys, politics are politics. And I'm just going to leave it there in essence of, either we can sit around and complain about it, or we can just, continue to tell the story and make sure that we get the right narrative out. But this young man should have been a starter from day one. However, when you're out at a school where there's former, NFL players, kids that are out there, and, they're going to always get first nods. And I'm okay with that, honestly. I have no problem. If I was a former NFL player, I want my kid out there too and get the first shot at it. It's just the way of the world. However, let's just say that Ridge Point realized, we need to get this guy out here. At the end of the day, he graded out as the highest PFF grade out of everybody in the secondary. And this film is showing, right? The film doesn't lie. And you see that his, hand placement. Like, look at that, man, coming downhill, helping on the run support, his pass coverage ability. Just letting the guys know that, like, hey, I'm not a guy to be tested. You might want to go the other way. Watch this. Just killing them.
And I like that, too, the communication skills, marking off and telling your guys behind you, hey, take care of that in case this guy does decide to take off. That's just great awareness.
Yeah, I agree, Jake. And, now against North Shore, right? The state champs, right? One of the top teams in the nation. And look at that. Nobody else could take them down. So Logan said, I can do it.
Yes.
I'll come off the receiver, get off my block, and go across field to make a tackle on the inside run play.
Yes, and I think Logan will be another guy here that when we do start shopping around, we say, hey, colleges, what do you think of this guy? What do you think of this guy? They're going to look at Logan and say, yeah, we want that.
Exactly. And just once again, man, just another young man that I'm super excited to for have all of us, to like really represent here another shutdown corner. I mean, we're becoming the DBU here at Protect You. But Logan Davis is that guy. I promise you, college coaches, I will put my stamp of approval on this young man to where if I'm wrong, hey, we can part ways and you can tell every coach in America, hey, don't do business with Protection United because this kid was a bust. I am willing to put everything on the line for this young man because he's not only a great young man off the field, yes sir, no sir kind of guy, very highly intelligent, but y'all see he's also a dog on the field. So Texas State, you guys got the memo early and already thrown that offer, but we highly anticipate Logan to get a ton more offers and, him partnering up with Protection United, allowing us to help with the promotion and to put our stamp of approval on this young man like we do the rest of our crew members. You're going to see somebody that is going to make another school happy on a collegiate level in the next 12 months.
I don't doubt any of what you just said there, Che. This is a guy that I'm very excited to be working with here. He's got a great opportunity to expand that brand, expand that influence here before he even reaches the collegiate level. But we talked all about a lot of positive things happening here at Protection United. The onslaught of offers that have really started to open up since the closing of the transfer portal success that we had here ourselves, finding guys new homes, picking up guys even in the portal and getting them to where they need to be for that next level and that next step in their journey. But we obviously want to talk about some positive things here that have been going on behind the scenes, some things that have been acclimating and some things that have really been coming together to create this overall complete puzzle of Protection United's success in year one. We've talked about how the birthday came around. We had a chance to celebrate that, but now we're able to really put together this great, succinct year one recap. And it starts off, I think, with the banner athletes, the success that we have had in terms of building up those strong pillars. And I don't think there's any greater examples here to lead off with DJ Lagway and Justin Williams, guys that have had different journeys. Justin has been at Georgia. He's been gritting and grinding and continues to find his space out there in the Bulldog defense. And then DJ finds a way to bring it back to the state of Texas, gets out there, shows off everything that he absolutely can. But now he finds a home here with the Baylor Bears.
Yeah, and I think most importantly, though, the purpose of this is that we are looking at, just a full year of Protection United, right? Getting, started the company late of 2024, but having just a full calendar year of what can we do when we have the full, let's say, 4 seasons, if you will, of all of our guys. And so, as you slide through to the second slide here, Computer Jesus, I mean, you look at, just what we were able to negotiate, right? In the form of, $6 million, right, in NIL revenue share, right? Having to now work, it's in the Wild Wild West anymore, right? This would be a small number 3 or 4 years ago when it was unlimited, but now, having to work within essentially the college football version of their NFL salary cap, right? And so being able to show this, here, and then, also, right, having $1 million, right, in NIL endorsements, right, being able to show that we've been able to help get, people, money, and our clients rather, money off, right, the field as well in the form of outside endorsements. Of course, see the first lady right there, Samara Coleman holding it down, right? She got her crown on, right?
Absolutely.
She's still repping. And then, of course, but the thing is that, like we've always talked about, we're not all transactional here at Protection United. And so, we have had success and also in the transfer portal world, right? Where going 18 for 18, I challenge any other agency to be able to say that this is what they've been able to do, right? Now I'm not going to, try to oversell 18 because that's not a huge number in the grand scheme of things. However, it's not about, right, the quantity here, right? Protection United. This is about the actual quantity, right? The quality, and we pick the right people to represent, right? Partner up with. They interview us while we're interviewing them. And here's the success story behind it, right? I mean, 18 for 18 and a line of 10,000 people. But our 18 was like being at Disney World with the Fast Pass. They didn't have to wait in that long line for Magic Mountain. They just skipped everybody and went straight to the line. And that's what we got to do here with our transfer portal kids. And then last but not least, man, every athlete that we have represented, right, in that class of that 25 to 26 now cycle, we have all found them a home. Guys, this is not all transactional. It's not, man. We've been able to find everybody here. And what has been done here, guys, is that you go look at these schools. Every school doesn't have a NIL. Every school doesn't have rev share. Every school doesn't have corporate sponsors that want to do outside endorsements. So do the math on that. 0 plus 0 equals 0. That means that we're showing that we truly care about the athletes that we represent here at Protection United, and that they're just not a transaction. They're not just a number or a dollar sign. Like, we're trying to help all of our athletes. Sure, the ones that are blessed and they are at that level and they are at schools that currently have that, yeah, we're going to negotiate their deals for them and make sure that they are compensated. However, we also are showing that we care about all of our athletes, and proof is in the pudding, because once again, we keep the main thing here. These young men and these young ladies didn't have the talent that they have. Of course, yeah, there wouldn't be a discussion to have here, because they got to prove everything that they can do on the field, and they can also show what they can do off the field, right? But, as now we go widescreen here, Computer Jesus, I'm kind of pushing it over to Jake before we close this out. But, Michael Jackson, right? One of the greatest performers of all time. I can't wait to go see the movie. I've already seen the previews. I told Ashley, I'm like, hey, we haven't been to the movie theaters in forever. I want to go see this movie in the movie theater. Imagine him just being in a back alley, doing all those dances, all that singing, and nobody's there to help put him on and showcase the talent, the promotion side, right? Joe Jackson did a phenomenal job, his father. Well, that's what we are here at Protection United. Like, we're helping promote these athletes and help put them out there, right? I mean, imagine, and you were there, the story when we're telling everybody about CJ Jackson owning his own lawn care service company, right? Other athletes that have their own charitable contribution companies already set up. The ones that are going to be inducted, I don't want to give this away until it's time, but being inducted in Hall of Fames for academics.
Yep.
Like, those are the things that we're helping put our guys on, Jake. And that slideshow that just came across there, man, just shows the proof in the pudding that when a top-notch athlete combines with Protection United, it's going to equal success time and time again.
Yes. I couldn't have said it better myself, Jay. Great things happen here when we get the types of athletes that we've been getting, the types of families that we've been getting, and we're able to bring together our resources to create something special, create that opportunity for play at the collegiate level, something that very few guys really get to do. But you already see that success paying off in just 1 year here at Protection United. We hope that you all enjoyed that just as much as we all did presenting it, because it has been a tremendous amount of work here, obviously behind the scenes stuff, but we're glad that we're able to pay it off here on the Protect You podcast. But with that said, folks, that does it here for this episode of the Protect You podcast. You know what? We got a little bit of time here. Real quick, Jay, your prediction for the Super Bowl.
Man, it's going to be tough, but I'm going to rock with Sam Darnold on this one. I think he got done bad in Minnesota, and I think he should have stayed there. However, they ran him out. So I'm going to rock with him, and I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks as well. I think that team just has too much going on, a lot of really talented guys on both sides. I wonder if Drake May is experienced enough, and I didn't really see a whole lot in that Broncos game that really made me think, yes, New England's got it this year. Seattle's been taking care of business week in and week out, and I think they got a really good chance to win this one.
All right. Computer Jesus, who you got, buddy?
I've been thinking about this a lot, honestly, and I'm going to go with chicken wings.
There you go.
I'm smoking ribs, and we're making homemade pretzels and cowboy caviar, but I think chicken wings are going to win.
Amen, brother. Amen. Hey.
Chicken wings for the win.
It's a sleeper pick, but I think it's one that I can agree. That's going to be a really good outcome.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really good
Facts.
one. We hope y'all are looking forward to the big game, obviously, the pageantry that comes with it, the halftime shows, the commercials. Yeah. We hope that you all share your thoughts on it. Who do you think are going to be winning the Super Bowl? Be sure to leave us a comment. Be sure to tag us in anything that y'all have going on. And be sure to subscribe here on the Protect You podcast YouTube channel. It truly does mean the absolute most. With that, folks, we hope you all enjoyed watching this episode of the Protect You podcast. Jake Wilson, as always, with the man at Jay Mickens. Justin Woods was our excellent producer. And we hope to catch you all on the next one.